All right, everyone, ready to dive into something delicious. Today, we're not just talking about enjoying a cup of coffee. We're talking about the experts who find the best beans before they're roasted green coffee buyers. Think like coffee sommeliers who travel the world, making those deals to keep our favorite roasters stocked. And we've got RoleCatcher here to give us the inside scoop on how to ace that job interview.
Yeah, it's a pretty sought-after job these days. People care more and more about where their coffee comes from, quality and all that. It's not just about grabbing any old boons anymore.
Right, sustainability is huge now, too. So RoleCatcher actually breaks down this career path. Entry-level junior buyer, all the way up to senior. And let me tell you, those senior buyers, they're negotiating the big contracts, making sure the good stuff keeps flowing. What makes those negotiations so important at that level? What are those conversations like?
Well, you got to think, they're basically securing the future of a coffee company. I mean, with climate change making things unpredictable and everyone wanting ethically sourced beans, those long-term deals aren't just about the price. They're about guaranteeing a steady supply, doing it the right way. It's a big responsibility.
Wow, so much goes into it that we never even think about.
Right.
Okay, let's get into some interview questions, then the kind RoleCatcher says you might get asked.
Yeah.
First up, what inspired you to become a green coffee buyer? So basically, tell us your coffee love story. Everyone's got one, right?
Totally. But you got to make yours stand out. It can't just be, oh, I like lattes. Dig deeper. Was there a specific coffee that blew your mind? A trip to a coffee farm that changed your perspective? Maybe even a book that opened your eyes to this whole world? That's what'll grab their attention.
I saw a documentary once. Probably not going to cut it. Okay, next up, this one seems tricky. How do you stay updated on coffee trends and pricing? Are there like coffee newsletters I should be reading?
Well, yeah, there are trade publications, but it's more than that. Think about going to industry events, the big ones. Like the Specialty Coffee Expo, following the right organizations online, the National Coffee Association, those guys, and networking, talking to other people in the coffee world, online forums, all that. That's how you really keep your finger on the pulse.
So become a coffee nerd, but strategically.
Got it. Okay, how about this one? How do you maintain relationships with coffee farmers and suppliers? I'm picturing a fruit basket here, but I'm guessing it's a bit more involved.
Yeah, fruit basket's a nice touch, but it's about genuine partnership. You got to show you understand fair trade, ethical sourcing, the challenges they face. Have you visited origin countries? Do you try to work directly with farmers? Stuff like that shows you're invested, not just placing an order and calling it good.
Right, showing you care about the people behind the beans. Okay, this one seems simple, but I bet it's not. How do you select the best coffee beans for your company? Is it just a matter of personal taste or what? Taste is important for sure. Be ready to talk about cupping, knowing your flavor profiles, all that. But you also got to think about the company. What's their roasting style? What kind of customer base do they have? You're not just picking beans you like, you're picking the ones that fit their whole brand, you know what I mean?
So it's strategic sourcing, basically.
Mm.
Makes sense. Okay, next question is a big one, I can already tell. How do you manage risk in the coffee market? Because I imagine those prices go up and down all the time, right?
Oh yeah, constantly. Weather can mess things up, politics, heck, even just shipping problems can make prices go haywire. This is where you prove you're thinking ahead. Mention things like hedging strategies, maybe having different suppliers just in case, that kind of thing. Shows you're proactive.
No one wants to be caught empty-handed when the coffee runs out. All right, this one builds on what we talked about before. How do you evaluate the sustainability of a coffee supplier? So it's not enough to just take their word for it, huh?
Nope, you got to do your due diligence. Certifications are a start, sure, like fair trade and all that, but go deeper. Can you check their claims? Are they transparent about their whole process, where stuff comes from, how workers are treated, that whole picture?
Like ethical sourcing detective work. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, getting down to business here. How do you negotiate pricing with coffee suppliers? Any secret handshakes we should know about?
If only. It's all about finding that balance, a good price for you, but also fair to the farmers growing the beans. Highlight your people skills here. Can you build relationships, understand their side of things, and still come to an agreement that works for everyone? That's what they want to hear.
Right. Got to be a smooth talker, but fair. I like it. Okay, this one's interesting. What role do you see technology playing in the coffee buying process? I'm not talking about just like emailing your orders, right?
Oh no, tech is everywhere these days, even in coffee. Think about those online marketplaces where you can find beans, blockchain to track where they come from, even AI that can analyze crops and predict prices. Mention those if you know them. Shows you're up on the latest and greatest.
So high-tech coffee buying, that's the future. All right, getting into the results now. How do you measure the success of your coffee buying program? Is it all about getting the cheapest beans?
That's only part of it. You got to talk about quality. Are you getting those top-notch beans consistently? How long are your supplier relationships lasting? Shows you're good to work with. And of course, the final product, are customers happy with the coffee? It's about the whole package.
Makes sense. You want it all to add up. This next one, though, how do you stay informed on changes in coffee industry regulations? Are there, like, coffee lawyers I need to be friends with?
Huh. Well, the regulations can get complicated. Food safety, importing, labeling, it's a lot. Mentioning you stay up to date with, like, the International Coffee Organization, trade publications, those are good signs. And hey, it's okay to say you'd consult with experts when needed. Shows you're not afraid to ask for help.
Right. Knowing your limits is important, too. Now, before we jump into the next question, I'm curious, with all these different things to think about, how do you make sure your answers are tailored to each company? Like, imagine a small roaster wants different things than a giant corporation, right?
You're absolutely right. It's not one size fits all. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer, honestly. Think about this. You plug in the job description, and their AI helps you tweak your answers to match, highlight certain experiences, even use the company's lingo, that kind of thing.
Whoa, it's like having a secret weapon for job applications.
Pretty much. And they've got this video practice feature, too. You record yourself answering questions, and AI gives feedback how you're speaking, your body language, everything. Like having a personal coach in your computer.
Okay, that's amazing. So you're prepped on the industry, you've got your answers tailored, and you're practicing like a pro. What else do we need? Seriously, this RoleCatcher AI sounds like a game changer. We've covered a ton, from like where beans come from to the legal stuff. But having that AI to help you nail the interview, that's huge.
It really is. But, even with all the prep in the world, sometimes you got to think on your feet in an interview. That's where that genuine passion comes in. If you love coffee, let it show. Talk about what excites you about the industry. That's what people remember.
Right, that's Spark. No AI can fake that.
Exactly. And don't forget to ask good questions at the end of the interview, too. Shows you're really thinking.
Oh, that's a good point. It's a two-way street. What kind of questions would impress a coffee buyer, though? Like, what are they going to be listening for?
Don't just stick to the basics, do your research on them. Maybe ask about their sourcing practices or a challenge they're facing in the market right now. Even something about their vision for sustainability shows you're thinking long term.
So come prepared, but be ready to have a real conversation, too.
Exactly. It's a career for people who really, truly love coffee. You can't fake that kind of passion.
Well said. So there you have it, future green coffee buyers. You've got the insights, the tools, and hopefully a fresh cup of coffee brewing right now to keep you going. Remember, every cup tells a story, and you could be the one shaping that story, from bean to cup. Keep those coffee dreams brewing, everyone.